I just listened to this whole podcast. It was terrible. I feel like my ears are gonna bleed.
What'd you say? This is Darby Allen, and you're listening to Give Me a Whole Yeah podcast.
Hey guys, how you doing? It's Dom. How is everybody getting on? We are in the middle of Storm Eustace in the UK. It is affecting the internet. It's affecting pretty much everything around here. I am trying to remain cozy in my skeleton onesie. It does look like I'm not wearing any. Well, I'm wearing very little, but I am in fact wearing a skeleton onesie. And we are here to do something that I said I was going to do about a week ago or a few days ago, was talk about fantasy booking Keith Lee. But also, given that we have the news of AEW's former EVP, Cody Rhodes, leaving AEW and looks like going straight to WWE, maybe as soon as this weekend's Elimination Chamber. Cody was spotted at an airport an airport in Poland, and so that has sparked potential Elimination Chamber rumors for Cody Rhodes. So I thought I'd do a little bit of fantasy booking for Cody as well. But we'll start with Keith Lee. Obviously, great to see Keith Lee a couple of weeks ago make his debut in All Elite Wrestling. The undeniable, the unstoppable, the All Elite Keith Lee, an incredible talent who is, obviously was big on the independent scene before he got to WWE, and I think that's what people forget. It's quite critical of Keith Lee for his size. But his ability for a big man is second to none. I think he was certainly, even for me, my top three signings would have been, obviously I would have talked about Bray Wyatt, but Malachi Black and Keith Lee were my, go-to guys that I would have definitely signed if I was Tony Khan. And obviously Keith Lee just getting to All Elite Wrestling in the last couple of weeks and making a lot of people very happy. He's already in. Oh, I should probably I did a slide and everything. There you go. There's a slide there. Look at that. Keith Lee just got to AEW a couple of weeks ago, and it's been a very exciting time indeed for proper wrestling fans. Keith Lee has the ability to be a sports entertainer, had the ability to be a WWE pure guy, but obviously didn't fit the mold for what Vince was looking for. Had some matches on Raw, a decent time at Survivor Series, but very very little beyond that. So I think Keith Lee definitely fits the mold. He's a pure wrestling fans wrestler, big man, big on his agile as well. You would think that he would be very much like a guy like Karrion Kross. You would think these guys would be the ideal person that Vince would be trying to push. However, here we are with Keith Lee in AEW. And it's exciting. It's really exciting. He's in that ladder match. He won his match against, I think it was Isaiah Cassidy last week or a couple of weeks ago, and gave a promo that he would be bringing his limitless self to the ladder match at the next AEW pay-per-view, where we're also going to see Danielson and Moxley. We're going to see Punk and MJF, and we're going to see Keith Lee. Really, it is, whatever anybody else tells you, an incredibly exciting time to be a wrestling fan. That's why I'm here at 11:35 p.m. on an evening, because I am excited to be a wrestling fan. I'm excited to have a podcast where I can talk about stuff like this with you guys. This is about opinions, and we do have some comments. So I'd like to, before I look at how I would book Keith Lee in All Elite Wrestling and what I would do with him, I'm going to open up to the comments. So Mikhail's got a comment already about Cody. I do not believe that Cody Rhodes is leaving AEW. He is staying at AEW, and AEW has come very early today at 7 p.m. Okay, so that's exciting. That's cool. for fans in the US, but he has left AEW. There is documented. There's been a documented discussion between Tony Khan and um, Cody Rhodes that they have agreed to keep it quiet, to be respectful. Obviously, Cody Rhodes founded AEW, and there's a lot of respect there. So Cody Rhodes has left. Brandy Rhodes isn't expected to join Cody in WWE, but Cody is all but it's being talked about. A lot of people expect Cody to join WWE. Jack says, I think Vince frequently has the ooh, shiny new toy kids have. I think he will sign Cody just to say he's a founding member of AEW. Then Cody will be like Tony Khan in AEW. He'll be on screen, but not often. He'll be backstage years and much like Arn is in AEW. That'd be interesting. Yeah, I think that's probably the best one, a really good use for him, actually, Jack. You know, I would certainly agree that that's probably how they'll do it. I mean, I can't imagine, and this is what we'll talk about when we talk about Cody Rhodes. I just can't see how else he would have signed unless they've promised him a prominent backstage role or a prominent on-screen role, maybe a World Heavyweight Championship. Because why else would you leave, AEW? However, obviously we have talked, well, there have been documented disagreements and things between Cody Rhodes and the other EVPs, the Young Bucks, Kenny and Tony Khan as well. We are going to talk about Keith Lee too. Cody is in Poland for a holiday. The plane from there to Saudi is also getting his immaterial. Then again, he is known for working the boys and fans often, so I wouldn't bet against him doing it too. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, let's do some fantasy booking. Even if it's just me and you, Jack, just for people coming back to this, let's do some fantasy booking. We'll do Cody Rhodes in a minute. Keith Lee, what is Keith Lee's ceiling in AEW? I think quite obviously, you got to look at Keith Lee. I think he will get a world championship run within the next year to 2 years in All Elite Wrestling. Obviously a former NXT champion, multiple time NXT champion. He did have a decent run in NXT. So it's interesting because, this ladder match, you got to believe he's the face of the Revolution ladder match. You got to believe that Keith Lee, is a favorite to win that. We're going to see Wardlow, we're going to see Keith, we're going to see other people in there. Unless somebody was to cost Keith and there was to start an early rivalry, you got to believe they're going to give it to Keith for the newsworthiness of it. He will be the face of the Revolution and get a future championship match. And I could see him winning that title there and then, even if he was a heel, for example, if he went heel and challenged Hangman and won the title. I think that is where we would see, where we could see rather Keith Lee being, a champion in AEW World Champion before the end of the year, if not the beginning of next year. With or without that face of the Revolution ladder match win that I believe he will have. Keith Lee is an easy TNT champ. Yeah, I'm going to say world champion. I think eventually, I think Keith Lee will be a world champion. But yes, definitely a run with the TNT championship as well. Ivan, our biggest supporter with that "Give Me a Hull Yeah" logo. Ivan the GOAT, give me a hull yeah. Nice to see you, dude. Hope you're all right. How's it going, man? Have you got any thoughts on Keith Lee? Any thoughts on Keith Lee and AEW and how you would book him? I've just said he's going to go on to win that face of the Revolution ladder match at Revolution and be a challenger for the world championship. But if he doesn't win that, he'll probably get the world championship within the year. I think Tony Khan and the pure wrestling fans of AEW will be very excited to have Keith Lee as a world champion and have him on that grand stage. I believe Keith Lee is the kind of guy that can carry a company, can be the face of a company. And I believe that WWE probably should have put him in that position. Obviously, did it at NXT, but it was very short-lived. Keith Lee's incredible, He's incredible. So yeah, that's my major thoughts on Keith Lee. Obviously, we don't have too many comments in at the moment, but I think TNT champion for definite, like Jack says. And I think that also you have definite potential for a world championship run. Didn't get that on the main roster of WWE, but absolutely could access that. Absolutely could access that and have that in AEW, where that pure wrestling fan base and and it's an exciting time. He's excited. You can see it in his promos. This Keith Lee, and I'm very excited to see what the future holds for him. So for me, the ceiling for Keith Lee is quite simply the World Championship. Whether it's this year or next year, I think he will go on to win because he's the newest acquisition and he's still obviously a big name in wrestling. Going to win the Face of the Revolution ladder match as soon as next month. And while he may not win the World Championship first try, and he may have a TNT title run before he has a World Championship run, I absolutely believe that Tony Khan will strap that rocket to Keith Lee, where he didn't get that opportunity on the main roster in WWE. So that's my thoughts on Keith Lee. We will move now to Cody Rhodes. I think that's the thing everybody's talking about is Cody Rhodes. Why is that? Oh, that one looks way nicer. Oh, that's a shame. Is there a way to flick it? I'm just getting used to this. No. Okay, that's how that works. Oh, if I added it separately, it wouldn't have the white border. Anyhow, Cody Rhodes. You are making us a custom announcement. That's awesome, man. Well, we're gonna have some 2K. We have the game coming, me and Anthony. So we are going to be playing. We're going to be creating some 2K22 content. The GM mode stuff looks really good. Been watching a lot of the showcases for that's come out. It looks really fun. It looks like a game that there's definitely made improvements on the previous years, and I think it's worth playing. I think it's worth giving them a chance. So I'm going to be doing that. I wonder if they'll sell that neck tattoo. Yeah, like that'll be. I mean, it's a merchandise thing, isn't it? It's a merchandise thing. The fake tattoo. I think they absolutely will. I wouldn't certainly put that past Vince McMahon to sell the neck tattoo as a rub on rub off thing. Which sounds weird when you say it out loud. I certainly wouldn't put it past Vince McMahon to do that for sure. So the glass ceiling for Cody Rhodes, the man who was Stardust last time he left, the man who had to fight for his job with his brother Dustin and immediately got a tag team championship win, a man that was a multiple-time Intercontinental champion, but a man, most of all, that has the legacy of his dad, Dusty Rhodes. I was talking to Anthony last night. I went round to his house and we had a big chat about the podcast, our plans for this year, and some of the stuff we were going to work on. And I said to him, I said, look, dude, why would you, even if you've got disagreements, man, the potential is there already for like Cody to be in there for a week and then to realize he's made a mistake and have an argument with Vince McMahon over his booking, over his contract, over how he's been portrayed, within a matter of days. Cody has that legacy of his dad, Dusty. Cody has that firecracker passion of his dad. And I don't think he will have the creative control. I know he won't have the creative control that he has with his in AEW. I know that. We know that. It's not going to happen. I do not know why, aside from money, and I know there was an issue, I believe it was mostly reported, an issue with money where Tony Khan wouldn't give Cody, Danielson, or Punk money. I think Jericho and Punk are considered the most highly paid members of the AEW roster, and Cody Rhodes, Tony Khan said that he didn't believe that Cody, well, he didn't say that, but the reports are that Cody was denied that request for money. So yes, I can understand Cody going there for money. Kurt Jack says, I see him like Jeff Jarrett. He probably shouldn't be world champ, but he deserves to be in the main event picture. Good point. But again, is he going to, like you said earlier, is he signing this deal? Is he getting this contract in place to be, to secure the future of his legacy? Is he going to be a backstage producer? Is that why they're bringing him back? Is that why he has said yes to have more of a sort of an impact, in terms of the future of the WWE and the nurturing of new talent, which is of course what Dusty Rhodes did towards the end of his career. But Cody's definitely not, in that he's not in the twilight of his career. I suppose he could always go back to AEW if no bridges are soured there. It looks like, perhaps it wasn't as cut and dry and as positive as people are saying in some reports. And some people are quite glad Cody's gone. Obviously, other people will not be. But yeah, would he be able to go back to AEW? That is the question. Would he be able to go back to AEW? We don't know. Who's to say? I bet Cody Rhodes' contract will explicitly say he can't be made Stardust. Just look at the polka dots Vince made Dusty wearing his run in WWF after he jumped from WCW. Yeah, absolutely. I think so. I think it'll be a very interesting contract, arguably the most interesting wrestling contract of the last however many years. I genuinely think this is a bigger deal, the biggest thing in wrestling since CM Punk's re-debut, and certainly the biggest, biggest, WTF moment, in a decade, over a decade. This is Luger, showing up on WCW. This is Hogan showing up on WCW. This is a guy who built another promotion showing up on WWE. The first AEW to WWE defection, and it is huge. It is fascinating. It's, again, fascinating time to be a wrestling fan. Fascinating time to see what's going to happen. Obviously, I will not be. I'm going to see Nigel perform at in Leeds tomorrow. You can Google Nigel NG. He's a fantastic comedian. I'm going to be seeing him tomorrow in Leeds, and Anthony is working. So Dan Hargreaves will be tackling Elimination Chamber. So Dan's got his Anthony face ready to go if Cody debuts at Elimination Chamber. But like Jack says, it's unlikely that's going to happen. Unlikely that will be a thing, but we'll see. We'll see who knows. Do you guys think that Cody's debut in Elimination Chamber? Who knows? But I think, in short, I think Cody will be. I think the only way I can think is I think Cody's going to be world champion. Whether he beats Lashley or whether he beats Roman, I think it's more likely he'll beat Lashley. I think I know there's talk of title versus title at Mania, and Roman and Brock. But I think that if they do decide to keep the title on Lashley after tomorrow, I think Cody will be the first. He'll be the guy to go into Mania to face Lashley, and the MVP, and he and Lashley will have some cracking promos. And I believe sooner rather than later we will see Cody with a title run, and then after that, he might go, might be an Intercontinental champion. And after that, he might go to be he might work in booking or backstage. And then after that, I think we'll see him back on AEW before the end of his career. I don't think Vince arguably like Tony Khan. I don't think Vince sees long-term value. I don't know. I think Tony Khan probably did, but certainly that money thing was telling, wasn't it? That money thing was telling, how Tony didn't see Cody being worth CM Punk money or Danielson money or Jericho money, whatever. And I gotta believe Vince, is going to be the same, if not worse. He's going to see Cody as a permanent mid-carder, and that's why I'm so bemused by this. Why would Cody do that? John says Cody Rhodes well. John, I can't see why he would have signed. I can't see why he would have signed for anything less. Why would you leave AEW and even if you've got a few disagreements? I mean, Cody could be knocking Vince out in a week. He could be punching Vince. Why he's more likely to have disagreements in WWE than he is in AEW, I think, because he was instrumental in building AEW, of course. So I know it's laughable to a lot of people, but I can only hope that's what they. I can only hope that's been secured in Cody's contract, because I wouldn't want to sign to WWE now. I wouldn't want to do it. When you have a credible alternative like AEW, I just wouldn't want to do it. Money talks. Yeah, fair enough. So you think that, and that's a good point. So you think that Cody's been promised, say, an Intercontinental Championship run, maybe a backstage position in the future, like his dad, and he's just been signed for the money that Tony Khan wouldn't give him. You think that Vince McMahon has given him that money? That's fair enough. I could totally see that. But again, you got to think. And I suppose Cody's had, he's had his reality TV show on TBS, which hasn't been picked up again for another season after he left AEW, but maybe WWE will have, more. They have more money. They have a bigger platform still. So, maybe Cody can be a reality TV star. Maybe that's his. He can be more of a reality TV star with WWE and have more platforms, bigger platforms than he could at AEW. Maybe. Keith Lee versus Powerhouse Hobbs. Book it, Jamel. Nice to see you, man. Thank you very, very much for joining us. Good to see you again, dude. Keith Lee and Powerhouse Hobbs. I imagine it is being booked, mate. I imagine they are loving it. They are already mouth watering. Their mouths are watering with Keith Lee and Powerhouse Hobbs. Keith Lee and pretty much everyone on that roster. There's talk about Buddy Matthews coming in. I'd love to see Keith Lee and Buddy Matthews. Love to see Keith Lee, Malachi Black. There's so many wonderful feuds for Keith Lee. Who's Cody doing? So what's happening with? So we're talking about Cody. Well, obviously, we've talked a little bit about Keith Lee. Dream feuds for. Actually, we haven't done dream feuds. We'll try and make this like half an hour, 40 minutes. We haven't done dream feuds for Keith Lee. Let's nip back to Keith Lee for a sec. Keith Lee in AEW. Let's do some dream feuds. I mean, Powerhouse Hobbs, Jamel says. Yeah, absolutely. I think Hangman Page and a heel Keith Lee is what I want. I want to see Keith Lee as a heel. So let's try to think of other ones. Other dream feuds for Keith Lee and AEW. Keith Lee and Kenny's another one, I suppose. Who else didn't we see him facing WWE? Danielson. Right? Danielson and Keith Lee, of course. Of course. Danielson and Keith Lee. So, yeah, those are my dream feuds. Anyway, come on, guys. There's a few people in. Let's have some dream feuds. Danielson and Keith Lee for me. Danielson and... Keith Lee and Malachi Black. Keith Lee and Buddy Matthews, if and when he arrives. Let's go back to Cody Rhodes. Dream feuds for Cody. Cody versus Triple H. Man, why though? Why would he agree to that? He'd be buried. I get what you're talking about, Jack. I get the mouth-watering appeal of it. Of course, Triple H versus Cody, but look at Sting. Sting came over and WCW he was the WCW guy, got squashed. Cody would lose in a WWE setting, working for WWE under a WWE contract. Cody would lose that match. Money talks, yes, but what about pride, legacy, etc.? I would steer well away purely for Cody's. I don't know, maybe if I was booking it, if I had the booking ability of Vince, and if I was booking WWE, of course I would book Triple H and Cody. Of course I would book it. But I don't want to see that, man. I don't want to see Cody get buried by Triple H. Cody and Seth, love that idea. Cody and Seth Rollins, absolutely. Cody, let's have another thing. Cody and Roman, I think, but again, I'd have Cody go over Seth, but I wouldn't have Cody go over Roman. I'd have Cody go over Cody and Lashley. I would give Cody at least one World Championship run. I can only imagine that's in his contract. I don't know. But I could only imagine at least one championship run is in his contract. World Championship run. I don't know whether Dusty never won a world title in WWE, did he? Jack, you can let me know. So yeah, that is a mouth-watering feud, Triple H and Cody, if you're thinking pure entertainment. But I wouldn't want Triple H to squash him. So Cody and Seth, Cody and Roman, just to see it. The promo work. Cody was a champion AEW. Yeah, Cody was a world champion AEW. He was an intercontinental champion in WWE and a tag team champion, but not a world champion. I'm sure he was world champion, wasn't he? The inaugural AEW world champion, I think. Ivan and Jack. So yeah, I'm going to say Seth and Cody is my idea. is my number one idea. Cody and Lashley, and Cody winning that title from Lashley as a face before going heel. Yeah. So those are my ones. I'd say Seth Rollins for Cody Rhodes, and Bobby Lashley for Cody Rhodes, just because the promos, the heel face promos. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, no, of course it was Jericho. You're right. Was Cody Rhodes ever an AEW champion? I'm gonna have to find that out. Sorry for typing. I know this is what Jack's for, but I have to know. I have to know myself. Cody Rhodes, no, 3-time TNT champion, wasn't he? Okay, yeah. Thank you, guys. This is what you're here for. Thanks for joining, guys. For me, let's backtrack. So let's say Keith Lee. So for going back to Keith Lee, I would say Dream Feuds are Danielson, Malachi Black, and Buddy Matthews when he comes in. If he comes in, I'm pretty sure he's going to be the House of Black member, next House of Black member. I think his glass ceiling is quite simply AEW champion. I think he will reach the main roster heights in AEW that he couldn't do in WWE, because obviously Vince didn't see him the way that pure wrestling fans like Tony Khan perhaps see him. So I think a TNT championship run first, and then a world championship run. But I think Keith Lee will win that Face of the Revolution ladder match as soon as March, and we will see that rocket strapped to Keith Lee. I'll check Instagram afterwards, dude. I'm just gonna finish this. I'm gonna finish this off, and I'll check Instagram for you. Ivan, thank you very much for sending me whatever you have sent me. So that is my glass ceiling for Keith Lee. I think he will shatter any WWE-esque glass ceiling, and he will be a world champion and a TNT champion in AEW. I think Cody Rhodes is more complicated. I think realistically, I think, if he's just signed for money, then which I just don't see happening. I don't think he's just signed because he can have the money he can't have from AEW. I think he will have stipulated a world championship run. I can only see that as possible. Then maybe a booking position in the future, just like his dad. Some intercontinental championship runs. A main event push, at least for a long while. They have to keep Cody Rhodes happy. But then it depends. How his relationship is with go back if he wasn't satisfied. But obviously, once you're locked into a WWE contract, I wonder how long it's going to be for. Andrade versus Keith Lee is my dream. Oh, that's a good one. Oh God, that's a good one, Ivan. Absolutely, yeah. Oh, you saw the picture of the pool? Yeah, I love that, man. It was I took Emma away for a Valentine's Day break to a beautiful town called Harrogate, and we went to a spa. It was very nice. Cody Rhodes isn't going to WWE, isn't that much of a big deal. It isn't, Jamel. I think if you look at Cody as a mid-carder, in the same way that you maybe weren't blown away by his stuff in AEW, you maybe wasn't blown away by his stuff in WWE the first time, the Stardust stuff, the Tag Team Championship stuff. EP, man, he is of this alternative company. He smashed a throne on the AEW pay-per-view a la Triple H. He was very much the anti-WWE guy that built AEW. This is huge. If not from he may be a perpetual mid-carder, but I don't see him agreeing to come back to a mid-card push to WWE. But this is huge. This is the first AEW to WWE defection. This is WWE to this is WWF to WCW levels, S word backstage. This is a massive deal. Can we do one for Jay White? Yes, we can. I love Jay White. If you guys are into these, because I had a big discussion with Anthony last night. And the reason why I cancelled a bunch of these last week was because I didn't think they were worth doing initially. Because obviously only a few people come. Obviously it's great to have. We've got 6 people in right now. It's lovely to have you guys in, but I think afterwards, they don't get too many hits. So I was like, oh, is it worth doing? But you know what? I am passionate about Keith Lee and AEW. I am passionate about Cody Rhodes. And I am passionate about wrestling, so they're worth doing as long as I want to do them, and as long as you guys are happy with me doing them and want me to continue. Because I don't really have structure, I'm not. We don't really plan these things out like other platforms, like your Wrestle Talks, your What Cultures. I just come here and talk. It's like a debate where you guys. It's all about you guys, man. This is about the comments. It's about you guys feeding me comments to talk about. So yes, we could do one on Jay White if you guys are up for it. Absolutely, we can. Basically, he gets a form of the contract WWF tried to give Brett in '97. Can you elaborate on that, Jack? Can you let me know? Because I imagine it's a big deal. So yeah, can you? What was the contract? I imagine yes, something similar to that. If Roman loses at WrestleMania, he will leave and go to Hollywood. He will be the next Aquaman. Dude, Jason Momoa is perpetual action. Aquaman. You can't. No. No, man. Why would Jason Momoa give that role up? Yeah, I mean, he could. He absolutely could be in those films, and I'm sure he will be in those films. As a prominent role, absolutely he could go to Hollywood. But yeah, I don't think he's ever going to be the next Aquaman. And I think it'll be a few years. Yeah, I think he has to have that Rock feud. I think Rock has to send him packing to Hollywood. I think if WrestleMania in LA, WrestleMania in LA, I think Roman, beats The Rock and then, maybe loses it and then goes to Hollywood. I think that Roman has to lose, or so has to face The Rock first in a WWE stage before going to Hollywood. But I absolutely agree with you that he will go to Hollywood. He will have that jump. I hope they don't make Cody wear a bag again in WWE, and I can guarantee you, Ivan, that is definitely in his contract not to do. They will not be putting a bag on Cody's head. I can almost guarantee that's definitely in his contract. KCOM not doing one, Storm Eunice. No, it is not. Thank you guys for bearing with me. Mikhail is back. Hi, Mikhail. Nice to see you. This is me waving at you. You can't see because of the slide. Are you fighting for the podcast? Yes, I am. That is the next pay-per-view that I am fighting Anthony for. We will be doing predictions for that once again tomorrow night. I will be back to do Impact Wrestling's next pay-per-view. I'll be doing Impact Wrestling at 1 a.m. when I come back from Leeds, but I will not be doing Elimination Chamber. Dan Hargreaves will be on to do Elimination Chamber, but the next predictions and championship fight for me and Anthony will be the AEW Revolution pay-per-view. That is the next time the belt will be on the line. One more like and you get a Dom kiss. Absolutely. Absolutely, I will give you kisses. In the Brett 97 deal, it was worth a few million for 20 years. Wow. 5 as a performer, 10 backstage, and the last 5 as sort of on-call legend. The money will be more now. Yeah, that's a good one. Wow, that's wicked, dude. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. This is why you're here, Jack. Because that I can see. You've just answered my question. And like I said to Anthony, like I'm gonna put that back on so other people can read it. So I said to Anthony, I was like, I don't understand. I just don't understand why you would. But there you go. If you're Cody and you get offered millions and millions and millions and millions for 20 years, 5 as a performer, 10 backstage in the last 5, or very, very varying, that's enough to entice somebody. So there is my answer. That is why he signed, if he signed for something like that. Absolutely. He could be Aquaman's long lost brother. Oh, is this Roman? Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, absolutely. He could be Jason Momoa's long lost brother. No, Jason Momoa's living in a trailer. He got kicked out of his house. His wife left him because I don't think he did, mate. I don't think he did. Jason Momoa. I've just seen Jason Momoa tonight. Spoiler alert for anybody watching. Is anybody watching Peacemaker? Won't say any more than that. But he's in Peacemaker. But there's a bit. I've not told you what happens, but he's still Aquaman. Did he really? Did he really? No, he didn't. Did he? No, mate. No. No. I don't think so, man. All right, there you go. Amber Heard blamed for end of Jason Momoa's marriage. January 2022. There you go. All right. After being partners for 16 years. I mean, I'm very careful about this because obviously, yeah. I don't know how legit this is. But after being partners for 16 years and married for the last 5 of them, Jason Momoa and Lisa Bonet have ended their marriage. Momoa and Bonet released a joint statement on Instagram. Okay, so Amber Heard, who was in Aquaman. There you go. Well, there's rumors anyway. There's rumors that that's what it is. There's rumors that that's what it is. But there we go. Anyway. We're not here to talk about Amber Heard and Jason Momoa, but you guys may be right, but I'm not sure he's been kicked out. I don't think he's living in a trailer. Anyway, this is not a gossip. This is not a gossip thing. Suicide Squad 26. I enjoyed it. I like Peacemaker the series. You're wrong, Ivan. It's a good series. I'm like now. I'm like Jason Momoa living in a trailer. This is not all wrestling stuff. This is not what we're here to do. I don't think he's living in a trailer. Yeah, I don't think that's. He's living in reportedly living in a 750,000 camper. Well, I mean that's not exactly hard. So you're right though. Again, wrong, and these are reputable-ish sources that I'm reading. He is just outside of his house. Yeah. There you go. Anyhow, where's this RV? Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's literally. It's okay. Yeah, he's living in an RV, but that's a nice RV. If I was going to be Jason Momoa, I would live in an RV like that. Cool. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I know I keep cutting out. It's the storm, mate. We've got a storm. We have a storm called Storm Eunice, EUNICE, if you want to research it currently. And it means the internet is bad. And things keep cutting out. So I apologize for that. Roman Reigns could be the next big actor star. He was recently in a movie. I didn't know which one, though. He helped me out. He's been in a couple. He's had a couple of minor roles. Trying to think. Let's take Cody Rhodes off there. We've stopped talking about Cody. What films has Roman Reigns been in? Hang on. I'll tell you what he's been in. Best Rumble he was in, which is WWE one. Fast and Furious he was in with The Rock. The Wrong Missy he's been in. I think I saw The Wrong Missy that he was in. Yeah. Let's have a look. The Jetsons and that was a WWE. Yeah. Let's have a look. Cousins for Life he was in. Don't know what that one is. Is that a documentary? Oh, it was in Nickelodeon. He was in Nickelodeon's Cousins for Life. Whatever that was. The Jetsons, WWE, Fast and Furious presents. Yeah, that's a thing. The Wrong Missy. Oh no, that was what I saw. That was great. I really liked that. It was quite funny. Rumble he was in 2021. Cool. So there you go. That's the movies Roman Reigns has been in. There we are. Fast 9, yeah, Fast and Furious 9. Hobbs and Shaw. All right, well, I don't really like that franchise, but there you go. Now I know. You've told me. Jamel, Hobbs and Shaw, not in the new one. Okay, so let's have a look. Sorry, Jack goes, but let's go back to Cody. Let's go back to Cody. Wrestling. Vince issued that break contract just in force, just because he wanted to put WWE on stock exchange to get on it. They advised no lucrative long-term contracts. Before not enforced. Vince issued that contract just before he wanted to put WWE on stock exchange to get on it. They advised no lucrative long-term contracts. Yeah, makes sense. I imagine they'll be in different. They're in a different situation now, multi-billion-dollar company, so they absolutely could do a contract like that. I think. Yeah. So those are my picks, guys. Let's just go back. Let's just see if we can get a couple of extra ones in. I'm talking A-list movies, not B-list movies. Yeah, I think you're right, man. We could absolutely see Roman Reigns in some A-list movies coming up. Maybe Aquaman, maybe Jason Momoa's long lost brother is the way to go. With Roman. So right, let's go back. I hope Cody doesn't attack us. I think so. Yeah, me too, mate. Me too. I hope. You can come and attack Goldberg at with that, if he's going to debut by killing Goldberg, not killing as in like burying Goldberg or something, I'll be fine with that. Or in the Elimination Chamber, that'd be fun. I'm not a big fan of Cody, but I did enjoy the dashing Cody Rhodes heel gimmick. That was great. But like I say, I think we're going to see a very different Cody Rhodes. I think it'll be in his contract that this is a very different situation for him, for Cody this time. It will not be a similar situation to dashing Cody Rhodes this time, or Stardust, or anything like that. I think we will see a world champion Cody Rhodes. I think we'll see a long-term, multi-million-dollar contract Cody, which will lock Cody in for the next few years. He'll have a backstage role. He'll have a couple of championship runs, and that'll be the way. That'll be the way it goes. Dom, throw him in Marvel. Craven the Hunter, Ivan. Yeah, what a good movie booking, mate. Good movie booking. He'd be a great Craven the Hunter, wouldn't he? Roman Reigns. Nice one. Yeah, good idea. Right. Okay. So let's go. Let's do it in reverse. We'll wind up. Like I said, chuck your comments in. The only reason I do these is to get this is how you would book them. So you tell me if you've not given me your ideas for Cody Rhodes and Keith Lee yet, please do. Cody Rhodes will have a world championship run. I think he's going to have a Raw championship run. I think he'll have multiple Intercontinental championship runs. I believe at least one championship run will be in his contract for, I think he has a multi-million-dollar deal to keep him in WWE for a few years, and I believe a world championship run is in there for him, because like I say, I think it'll be Bret Hart levels. Like if you go up, there's a Jack had a really good quote there, so a good similar contract to Bret Hart in 1997. A few $1 million for 20 years, 5 as a performer, 10 backstage, last 5 as an on-call legend. I think that would be the only way I would be able to get Cody in now. I think, and I think that's probably what they've done, something similar, to entice him over, because he's been, he started a company. He's the real alternative. This is like, I'm not joking, however you look at Cody Rhodes, this is Hogan to WCW level stuff for the modern era, because Cody was an EVP in AEW. So my dream feuds: Lashley versus Cody. I think I don't think Cody and Roman should happen, because I think Roman should win. That happens. I think Seth versus Cody is a dream feud for sure, and his ceiling is a world championship run, at least one, and in a multiple Intercontinental Championship runs, I think. Before he finishes up with WWE. Keith Lee, I've said the forthcoming Buddy Matthews, because I think he's going to be a member of the House of Black. I think we're going to see Keith Lee versus Bryan Danielson, Keith Lee versus Hangman Page. Importantly, Keith Lee should be a heel in that if he goes against Hangman Page. But yeah, Keith Lee and Danielson would be absolutely wonderful. I would love to see that. His glass ceiling, his end game for AEW got to be at least one championship run, world championship run, and well, probably more than that in AEW. I think Keith Lee is the wrestler. You know, he is the wrestling fans wrestler. You know, he's a sports entertainer, but clearly not Vince's type, which is unusual. But Keith Lee, my God, what a talent! And yeah, well, what a talent! He's got to be an AEW champion somewhere down the line, whether he's a heel or a face. He's got to be a world champion. And definitely a run with the TNT championship as well. Okay, cool. Let's have a look. We need a celebrity battle royal at WrestleMania Hollywood. Who would you book? Ooh, that's a good question. Who would you guys book? In an ideal world, I'd say Terminator. I'd say Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'd say Jason Momoa. I'd put in there Keanu Reeves. Triple threat. Keanu Reeves, Jason Momoa, and Arnold Schwarzenegger. I think if I had a battle royal, I'd have Keanu Reeves win everything. I love Keanu Reeves. He's like my favorite actor. Can you do a movie one, but you list a wrestler and we name a movie they should be in? Ooh, yeah, you know what? That's a good idea. Let's do that. Let's do a couple of those. Let's try it out, because I can't do Anthony's kind of, you know, we've got to keep it streamlined to wrestling content, more wrestling content on the podcast. If you want to, because he's dead keen to keep it streamlined to wrestling stuff. So we're not doing so many movie watch-alongs on Give Me a Whole Year anymore. But we'll do them over on Soundsphere, you know, the magazine platform that I have. So we'll do more movie stuff over there. But for the spirit of conversation, we got at least, you know, we can go until, so we've had 47 minutes. Let's try and go to an hour. Let's, or there and thereabouts. Let's do some. So, okay. So can you do a movie one, but list a wrestler and we name a movie they should be in? Okay, cool. All right. I'll start with a favorite of mine, Bray Wyatt. Go on. Give me, I say Bray Wyatt could be in one of Rob Zombie's films, which is I guess a bit cliche, but let's say Halloween. Bray Wyatt in Halloween. Roman Reigns, Aquaman. I think that's a good one. The Miz. Say The Miz in. I think The Miz would make a good superhero. Actually, I think The Miz would make a good, you know, Marvel. You know, not main bad guy, but like a, you know, not a main bad guy, but like definitely like a supporting character, you know, in the Marvel universe. Jason Momoa is your pick to win the Battle Royal, Jamal. Cool. Arnold. Yeah, both picks of mine for the Battle Royal. You've got good taste. You've got very good taste, guys. Is Buddy Murphy? Yeah, Buddy Matthews is Buddy Murphy. So Buddy Matthews, as he is now known on the independent circuit. Jason Statham. Yeah, nice one, man. Good pick, Jamel. Love it. How can I watch it? I don't have Soundspeed. You don't have to watch it, man. You just have to subscribe on YouTube. Hang on, there you go. Yeah, I can't believe you're not subscribed. I'm sure you subscribed, man. I'm sure you subscribed. I thought you subscribed ages ago. Yeah. Hang on a minute. Hang on. Hold on. Let's have a look. I'll put the link to my channel, my other channel, in the description, so you can go and check that out. That's where we do all the kind of pop culture stuff, movies, comic books, and stuff like that. So you can check that out. It's just on YouTube. We have Facebook and Twitter and all that other stuff as well. Roman Reigns in Mortal Kombat. Yeah, good one, Ivan. Like it. Friday the 13th remake. Yeah, that'd be good. Ray in the next day. Ray Mysterio in the next Alien. Keith Lee will become too cocky, start booking himself 2-on-1 match. Yeah, I think Keith Lee would be a great heel, man. I think a lot of people love Keith Lee, but I think he'd be a fantastic heel, a dominant heel. You know, kind of. Yeah, I think he could dominate in 2-on-1 matches, and then, you know, have somebody, you know, like Wardlow come and face him, you know, and have a real hot battle, which I'm looking forward to in the Revolution ladder match. Miz is the next bad guy in Deadpool. Yeah, you're on my wavelength, Jack. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, not a major heel, not a major superpower bad guy, but like a psychological bad guy, like a leader of a gang or something. Submariner. Who's Submariner? Is that Submariner? Is that like a thing? Hang on, I'm gonna have to find out. Namor. Okay, Namor McKenzie, also known as Submariner. Yeah, cool. Yeah, could do. That'd be good. Batista is the henchman in the 2015 Bond film. He was it? Was he not? I'm sure he probably was. I don't know. But Batista's had a really good run, hasn't he, recently in films? He's done some good stuff. Matt Riddle in Spy Kids, yeah. No, I'm subscribed. Well, there you go, man. Thank you. Thanks for checking that out. I had a rumor that The Miz will play Johnny Cage in Mortal Kombat 2, the movie. I'm not, again, that would be great, Jamel. There you go. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Great booking. Great movie booking for The Miz in movies. Any other ones? Any other ones, guys? And once again, we'll go for another 9 minutes. Another few minutes. So if you've got any more booking for Keith Lee, for Cody Rhodes, let me know. You Mr. Hinks Spectre. Yeah, I'm not surprised, man. Miz can play Iron Man daughter villain. Matt Riddle and Randy Orton in Dazed and Confused too. Nice one. Classic. I haven't seen Dazed and Confused in years. I haven't seen that film in years. I want to go back and watch that. I might do that. I might watch Dazed and Confused sooner rather than later. Any other good films? Like I say, I was watching Peacemaker. I've started watching that. Peacemaker's great. The DC. It's on HBO Max. People in the US. I've started watching The Walking Dead. I'm only on season 2. Me and Emma have started watching it after years. I'm quite into that at the moment. What else is good? Edge and Blade. Oh yeah, because they're remaking Blade out there, which I'm real excited about. Real excited about that. Yeah, they're redoing Blade for the Marvel Universe. That's awesome. Just bought a comic book actually with Blade facing the Marvel Universe. I didn't know that was a thing, but yeah, Blade attacking the Avengers. Cool. Keith Lee, I'd like to see a death match. Yeah, man. I'd like to see him do like because obviously AEW guys can show up in GCW. I'd like to see Keith Lee in GCW and have a death match with like Nick Gage or something completely something completely, be completely different for him. But I think, Nick Gage and Keith Lee could have a huge match in GCW. That'd be awesome. Gangrel, yeah, Gangrel would be wicked. Would be wicked in Blade, of course. I actually got a press release featuring Gangrel today from MLW. Gangrel's set to make his MLW debut. Yeah, Gangrel. So Gangrel's back in. Back in action. Talking about missionary in action. Oh dear, is that sounds like a sex movie? Missionary in action. Was that an actual movie? If I Google that, am I going to get? That'd be weird, wouldn't it? Missionary in action. John Cena. Missionary in action. Afraid I got Bob Walking Dead about season 6, but no spoilers. Yeah, I'm interested. Edge and Lost Boys. Do you guys do? I'd love to see them remake that. Love to see them remake the Lost Boys. That'd be really cool. Jack from 205 Live in Marvel as usual. Well, yeah, Jack Gallagher's probably. I think he's settled down in the UK. I think he's not doing anything publicly after obviously he was in the speaking out movement, Ivan. So I think he's just trying to chill out. I think he's gone back to normal life, kind of moving forward with his life. I think he got a boat. I saw on Instagram he bought a boat and. He'll be playing. I don't think he'll be wrestling. Imagine they do another Dusty Rhodes Classic and the final happens, but one of those guys is injured and Cody returns in NXT and puts his partner over to win the cup named after his father. That is excellent booking, Tombstoner. Although I think, like, if you go back, I think I think he'll want something bigger than that. At least initially, he might go to NXT in the future and do something with the Dusty Rhodes Cup. But I think he'll be a world champion soon. I think that's what his agreement will be. I think he'll be a world champion first off, but I think eventually that booking would be great, Tombstone. Yeah, to have him be a part of the Dusty Rhodes Classic, do something like that would be so cool. So it would be so cool. Yeah, to have him involved in that. Crazy Ginger's in. Nice to see you, dude. Nice to see you. Gangrene directed a few movies. Yes, Gangrel's directed a few of those missionary and action type movies. Jamal, but Kiefer Sutherland has to be in it. Kiefer Sutherland has to be in it. It's great. He's Kiefer Sutherland. I'm a big fan of his. One of his movies I'm a huge fan of is Dark City. It's quite psychological, quite dark, kind of The Matrix before The Matrix. Big fan of Kiefer Sutherland. Triple H was in Blade. Yes, he was in Blade. Yeah, absolutely. Darby Allin, Son of the Crow. Yeah, that'd be cool. I'm a huge fan of the Crow franchise. The first one, of course. I think, yeah, Darby would be great. Darby would be awesome in that kind of role. What a wonderful, yeah. Even if that's not an actual film, Jamal, but it should be. It should be. When is Cody Rhodes going to be? Is that going to AEW? I mean, that's a great question. I don't think so. Initially, I was worried that it would, Eric, that he would hurt AEW, but I think this week they've put on a cracking show. Obviously, they've got Keith Lee, they've got Danielson and Punk and Moxley. I don't think it'll hurt AEW. I think a lot of people are, internally are probably, from what I've heard, are quite happy that Cody's gone. Obviously, there'll be lots of people that aren't as well. But yeah, dude. I mean, if you go back, I've fantasy booked Cody in WWE. I've also fantasy booked Keith Lee. We've had a couple of comments from everybody. Yeah, I don't think it'll hurt AEW. Cody's still very supportive of AEW as well, and that's great to see. Wrestling is thriving. That is a tweet that Cody put out last week, also earlier this week, and he's right, man. Wrestling is in a good spot, and I don't think it'll hurt Cody leaving or hurt AEW unless Vince McMahon asks him to trash AEW once he's under contract. But I don't know whether Cody would agree to do anything like that. But obviously Vince has got to be laughing. This is what this is the only, if you go back, Jack's contract idea where he has like a Bret Hart style contract, which is long term, is the only way that I could see Cody going. The only way I could see Cody signing, and the only way I'd get him to agree with it, because Vince is going to be like, "Oh, I've got an AEW guy. I can make a big deal out of it," and it can be a huge, thing, and he can kind of, laugh about it and whatever. But I think Cody's going to be going in there with some demands. He's no trashing of AEW, a world championship run, long term, multi-million-dollar contract. I think will be in Cody's contract, and I can't see them turning him down, given that he has formed another company and built a legacy outside of WWE. Do you think we will see Buddy Murphy in AEW or Impact Wrestling? I think he's coming to AEW. I think he's been in the back of those vignettes for the House of Black. I think he is already in AEW. I think I know that Wrestle Talk reported earlier that apparently creative plans have already been put in place for Buddy Matthews, because he is that sought after, and that people are big fans. So yeah, I think there's enough out there to persuade me, at least, that Buddy Matthews, as he is known now, is going to go to AEW and going to go and do some great things in AEW, man. Almost a Superhero would make a great Netflix show. Yeah, it would. And I'd love to see Nikki Cross in that. I want to see Nikki Cross go back to NXT Nikki Cross, but yeah, no, I think that the Almost Superhero would be a good kids, upbeat, positive Netflix show for sure. That'd be great, Jamal. Good movie booking there. What is your thoughts on Undertaker going into why not? of course. You know, I mean, to be honest, I'd dedicate the whole Hall of Fame to him. I wouldn't put anybody else in this year. I'd just put the Undertaker in there, man, and just have them pick it up again next year with more people. But yeah, the Undertaker deserves it. You know, congratulations to him on behalf of our small wrestling community. Congratulations to the Undertaker for getting into the Hall of Fame this year. It's an incredible achievement and well deserved. Guys, any other bits you want me to talk about? We've hit an hour. It's been nice talking to you guys. Thank you for showing up. It means a lot to me in these situations because we're just chatting. You know, these ones are about how you would book Cody Rhodes, Keith Lee. We've had some interesting debates. Obviously, I always want more people to come in and chat. So next time we do them, you know, like I say, keep liking, subscribing, supporting the channel. We are over 1,000 subs. We are trying to get to 4,000 watch hours. So if you could put any of our content on in the background, you know, just have it going on there in the background with the sound off or whatever. Some of our longer pay-per-view videos, perhaps, and just have it playing there so we can build up those watch hours because we got to get to 4,000 watch hours. We're currently on 3,300 and something, so we're not too far away from being monetized. So thank you guys so much for your support. As always, tomorrow there will be 2 live streams, probably for the first time ever actually on the channel. We'll be streaming 2 pay-per-views in one day. Dan Hargreaves from 5 p.m. UK time will be doing Elimination Chamber because I am away. I'm not available, and Anthony is at work because 5 p.m. UK time is a normal time for us. It's a standard time. It's not 1 a.m. And then I will be on my return from Leeds doing Impact Wrestling. I'll be covering Impact Wrestling's pay-per-view to about 1 a.m. as well, because those always do well, man. Impact Wrestling and GCW, the independent stuff, that always does really well. So that's what I'll be doing. Sayonara. So Jamel, nice to see you, dude. Thank you for coming in. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to Eric. Thank you to Ivan. Thank you to Jack, of course, being here. Crazy Ginger Jake also showed up as well. It was lovely to spend time with you guys here. Jamel, yeah, like I say, thank you so much for your comments and your thoughts. Kept me going there as well, dude. Thank you all. It's been amazing. Been really nice. It's actually inspired me to do more of these. I'm going to do more of these. I'm going to stop complaining, and I'm going to actually do these on time when I say I'm going to do them, because I planned this like last week, but I got burnt out, man. I was tired. I passed my counseling qualification. I'm now a qualified therapist and counselor. But I was kind of burnt out because I was expecting more work, you know. So like I was like, oh, I'll just keep moving it, and then I'll cancel it. And then Anthony was like, you shouldn't cancel stuff. And then, you know, he was like, I'm like, you're right. So I'm glad I did this. I'm happy to do more. If you guys want me to post some stuff in the comments, you know, or the comments afterwards. You know, if you want me to do a Jay White, how to book Jay White in that was a suggestion earlier. I'll happily do that stuff. I love talking to you guys. This is actually really, you know, it's been really fun. So thank you guys so much for spending time with me. Anthony's in just as the end of the stream is coming. So thank you so much for everybody. Like I said, go back. We have fantasy booked Keith Lee. We have talked about dream feuds for Keith Lee, Powerhouse Hobbs, Buddy Matthews, Brian Danielson for Keith Lee. We've also talked about Cody Rhodes, and Seth Rollins. Jack said Cody Rhodes and Triple H, and I would very, 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 very much go against that. Me and Anthony have planned to do a Cody Rhodes specific video. When obviously we might have some more evidence of things that will happen with Cody Rhodes in the coming weeks, coming days, even potentially Elimination Chamber, but we'll see. Like Jack says, Cody likes to work the fans. So yeah, we'll probably do a more specific video on Cody going forward once we know a little bit more information. But yeah, so go back if you're coming to this later on. Go back, and there were slides and everything. I did slides. Anthony, check it out. There's Cody. There's Keith. Yeah. So Anthony, you like I say, go back and check it out. Minoru Suzuki would be good for Keith Lee, yeah. But if he came back to AEW, absolutely, that'd be awesome. But yeah, go back and check it out. Let me know in the comments if you've got any thoughts on Feuds, if you want me to do any more of these, because I do feel quite inspired after having lots of comments from people through the hour. So it's been really good fun. I'll be back tomorrow at 1 a.m. UK time for Impact Wrestling. Dan Hargreaves will be right here on the channel at 5 p.m. UK time, straight after work. He's getting home from work early just to do Elimination Chamber with you guys to cover it for the channel. So we will be covering Elimination Chamber, and he will be there with his Anthony face if Cody debuts tomorrow, and is indeed on a plane from Poland. Anyway, let's see, guys. Thank you guys for bearing with me. Obviously, Storm Eunice cutting out the stream a little bit as well, and yeah. So thank you guys so much for your patience and your time, and I will see you guys tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Impact Wrestling, and Dan Hargreaves will see you for Elimination Chamber. All right, guys. Love you very much. See you soon. Take it easy. I'll count us down. We've been talking about Gangrel a lot. We talked about Gangrel. Let's have a Gangrel outro. Right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See you later. Love you. Oh yeah.
It's Gangrel, the Vampire Warrior. Hello and welcome to Give Me a Hole, yeah, podcast. I hope everyone in Yorkshire and beyond is having an awesome day. Keep fanging and banging.